Hello once again, and welcome to Learn Python 3 the hard way. Now, we're getting towards the end of the first half of the book. The second half of the book, we get into more real programming topics and not just a bunch of printing in files and variables and stuff. This exercise is all about practicing what you already know. It's not difficult. This should be stuff you already know. It's just practice, okay? So, when you go through this exercise, there's two things I think will help you. The first is reviewing all of your symbols and all the notes you've been taking, so that way you know what all these things are. I would go through here, and if there's anything you don't recognize, I would study it. If you get to, say, the parentheses, and here, let me increase the font. So let's say you're on parentheses here, and you don't know what a parentheses is, you have to go study it. If you're on colon, you don't know what that does. If you don't know how to define a function, you've done that a bunch already, you should go study it. If you don't know how math works, you don't know the equal sign. Then, once you do that, I want you to see if you can enter this whole file in, right? And review it very carefully when you're done entering it in, or even as you go, making sure it's as exact as you can. I want you to make this as exact as you can, and then try to run it. And what you're going to want to do is you go Python ex24.py. Okay. If you get an error, I want you to keep track of that. You want to try and get this file as perfect as possible before you run it, and try to get like as few errors as you can. So let's say you run it, you get an error. Now don't freak out. It's not the end of the world. It's totally okay to make an error, but you have the error. So stop, come back, and re-review the entire file. Fix the error you have, look for that error in common locations, other things you do wrong, and fix the whole thing, as many other things as you can. Then run it one more time and see if you get it right. Keep doing that until you've got this whole file typed in and you've done it the least number of times. Now, let's say you did that and it took you 20 times to get this file right, okay? What you should do is, again, don't beat yourself up. Start over. Take the file and do it one more time. Practice being able to type all this code in and having an exacting mind, like a very focused mind on making it as perfect as possible. Go slow. Being correct and being exact and having a good attention to detail requires going slow, especially when you're starting out. I can sit here and I can type this file in and have very few errors. Well, maybe. It depends on how much coffee I've drank. But I can type this in and have very few errors. But when I first started out, I typed things in very slowly. And as you type things in correctly, you slowly increase your speed. Not because you're able to type faster, but because being correct becomes easier and easier and easier. So then your speed increases. Try that out. See if you can type this file in, and possibly the next exercise, and get it in one shot and have it work. That's your goal. Maybe with like 1 or 2 errors. It can be like a fun challenge, but don't take it as a failure. Take it as maybe there's something you need to work on. Maybe go through this and think, oh yeah, you know what? I always forget to end the parentheses. I need to get better at ending the parentheses. Write that down on a card and keep track of that for the rest of the book. That's what you should be doing. All right. Have fun with this exercise. There's nothing fancy in it. There's nothing confusing. It's all stuff you know. And then move on to exercise 25, which is very similar.